Very good morning, class. So, once again, we are going to continue with our first chapter, that is of nature and purpose of business. So, as we have already started the classification of business, as business has been classified into two parts, industry and commerce. Industries are again classified into primary, secondary, and tertiary sector, and commerce is classified into two parts, that is trade and auxiliaries to trade, that is called aids to trade, or elements which help to increase the trading activities. Okay, so let's continue. As we have seen, industries that is divided into three broad categories: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Tertiary sector, which is very popular by the name of service sector. So first we have to find out the meaning of primary industry. Primary industry include all those activities which are connected with the extraction and production of natural resources and reproduction and development of living organisms like plants, etc. Okay, so basically primary industry we can subdivide into two categories. First is extractive industry and second one is genetic industries. So first, extractive industries, this is the industry where we exactly extract or draw out products from the natural sources. Okay, important extractive industries like farming, mining, lumbering, hunting, and fishing. These are the examples of extractive industries. For doing such a type of activities, we are totally depend on the natural sources. Okay, and second, we have genetic industries, and in this industry, basically we engaged in the or we depend on the genetic, like dairy farming and cattle rearing and all. Okay, and just like in this industry, we used further reproduction for the breeding of plants, seeds, nursery, and all. And second, we have secondary industry. In this industry, basically process raw materials whatever we have received from the primary industry and used to produce final goods, okay, for the consumption purpose. So for example, the mining of an iron ore is a primary industry, but manufacturing of steel is a secondary industries. And again, secondary industry can be classified into two parts. First is called manufacturing industries, second one is called construction industries. Sorry for the notes. Okay, in the manufacturing industries we used to manufacture goods. Okay, just like by the using of raw materials we used to manufacture final goods, that comes under the manufacturing. It means we change the importance of goods. And second one is construction industries. In the construction industries, basically we focus in the construction part, construction of road, dams, buildings, that comes under the secondary industries. Then we have tertiary industry. Basically these are highly connected with the providing support or the services to the primary and the secondary sectors. Okay, without tertiary sector or without the service sector, we can't imagine about any sort of the activities or any sort of the business activities. So basically in the tertiary sectors we include transportations, banking facilities, insurance facilities, warehousing, communication systems, packaging, and advertising. These are the things which comes under the tertiary sector. Then after, next and the very important content which we have to discuss, that is of commerce. So commerce is nothing, commerce is a kind of services. Although services we have discussed, that comes under the commerce. So commerce include both buying and selling of goods, that is called trade, as well as auxiliaries such as transport, banking, okay, that we have already discussed. So commerce provides the necessary link between the producer and the consumers. Whatever consumer used to produce and how it comes to the consumer and how consumer consume those goods, that comes under the commerce. So in commerce we have two things: first trade, and second one is aids to trade or the auxiliaries to trade. So first, what is the meaning of trade? Basically buying and selling of goods or the services, that is termed as trade. That is, this process is called trading. Okay, buying and selling of goods, that is called trade, and this is a kind of process which is called trading. And second one, that is auxiliaries to trade, which includes transportation, banking, insurance and all, that we have already discussed. Next, what is trade? Trade, that is very essential part of commerce. Without trade we can't do anything. It refers to sell, transfer or exchange of goods. It helps in making the goods produced available to ultimate consumers or the users. Basically whatever goods we consume, that is possible just because of the trade or the trading. So businessmen are engaged in trading activities as middlemen to make the goods available to consumers in different markets. क्योंकि हमारा जो market है, that is very big, that is wider. In this market we have to provide different type of the commodities to the consumer. It can be possible only with the help of tradings. And classification of trade. Trade can be classified into two parts as internal trade and external trade. So let's discuss over the internal trade. So internal trade, that is very popular by the name of home trade or the domestic trade. Okay, so home trade is concerned with the buying and selling of goods and services within the geographical boundaries of a country. If we are doing our business activities within the boundary of a nation, within the boundary of a country, then it will be considered as internal trade. Okay, so it can be again divided into two categories. First is called wholesale trade and second one is called retail trade. So what is wholesale trade? Once when goods are purchased and sold in bulk in large quantity, then it is considered as wholesale trade. If goods are purchased and sold in small quantities, then it will be considered as retail trade. Okay, so wholesale trade where we used to deal with the large quantity, and retail trade where we used to deal in the small quantity. And we have next external trade. External trade, that is also called foreign trade or the international trade. Foreign trade consists of the exchange of same goods and services between person or the organization operating in two or more countries. If two parties are there and both belongs to the two different nations, then it will be considered as international market or the external trade or the foreign trade. So if goods are purchased from another country, that is called import trade. Basically all the external trade, it can be again classified into several parts. First we have import trade, second we have export trade, and third we have interport trade. So what is import? Once when you will purchase goods from another country for our country, then it will be considered as import trade. And in export trade, goods are basically exported from our country to another country, that is called export trade. And last we have interport trade. In interport trade, basically we import for exporting purpose, that is just only the re-export of the goods, that is called interport or the re-export trade. So these are the examples of external trade. Then next, and the very important thing, what is auxiliaries to trade, what is aids to trade? So activities which are meant for assisting trade are known as auxiliaries to trade. These activities are generally referred to as services because these are in the nature of facilitating those activities relating to industries and trade. If we are going to perform any kind of business, any kind of trade, okay, so for that we will require different type of the services. Just like for starting a business, we are required cash or the financial assistance. For that we are totally depend on the banking institutes. Okay, then we need to promote our goods, that we can do with the help of advertising agencies. So advertising agencies are there, and we need to transport our goods one to another places just to increase the demand of that product, just to make the satisfy our customers. So that can be possible through the transportation facilities, and just to minimize the risk of business. Okay, so we need to take the help of insurance company. So these are the different services which are provided and offered by the various service provider, so which can help our business organization to grow in the market in very short term. So here we have transport facility, movements of goods from one place to another place. We need banking because banking provides financial assistance to the trader. We need insurance because insurance covers various kinds of business risks. Then warehousing creates time utility with storage facilities. And last we have advertising, because advertising provide information towards our business article. So transport and communication, which is our first and very important auxiliaries to trade. Production of goods generally take place in particular location. You can check with the help of any commodity. If you have any any item at your home, it may be the packet of turmeric, packet of salt and all, or the packet of wafer chips. So you can check where that chips or that particular item has been produced. Okay, so you will find out in India, basically most of the companies, they used to produce their goods in very limited areas. Okay, hardly they used to produce their goods 5 or 6 places in India. So like tea is mainly produced in Assam, cotton in Gujarat and Maharashtra and so on. So but these goods are required for consumption in different part of the country. So how that is possible? So the obstacle of place. So there is a obstacle, there is a barrier of transportations. So that is a obstacle which has been removed by the transport, and we have different sources of transport like road transport, rail transport, coastal or the shippings. Okay, and transport facilities, movement of raw material to the place of production and the finished products from factories to the place of consumptions. With the help of communication facilities, producers, traders and consumers may exchange information with one another. Okay, so two things is there. First is transport and second one is communication. With the help of transportation, we can send goods one to another places, and communication that play very important role for the development of business organization. The next word is banking and finance. So business activities in the present scenario cannot be undertaken or imagined without the availability of funds. And funds we can acquire, we can arrange with the help of banks or the financial institutions only. We have different type of the banks. Basically we deal with the commercial banks who provide us credit facility, overdraft facility, okay, loan and advance facilities, and they also work for us. They collect our checks, okay, and they remind us regarding the payments and all. After the banking we have insurance. Insurance is a kind of service in which most of the insurance company took the responsibility. They accept to bear the risk of any business organization, and for that they used to make charges, which is called here premium. Okay, then after warehousing it means storage of product, storage of goods, because all the goods whatever we consume throughout the year can't be manufactured every time. Okay, So we need to store as a raw material, as a finished goods, so it can be available as per the requirement or as per the demand. So warehousing, that is a kind of service where we can store our goods, and in India, in different countries, we have different type of the warehousing facilities where we do not just only store our goods. Basically there we used to install our goods. Advertising is one of the very important source of promotion of goods and the services and the ideas. Okay, advertising make aware consumers towards the different commodities or towards different items. So it was something about the services, about the primary sectors, about the secondary sectors, about the service sectors or the tertiary sectors. Then after, next topic which we are going to discuss, that is objectives of business, why we do different type of the business activities. So we do business activities first, and the very important thing for getting money, for earning. Okay, just for the earning profits, we are engaged in doing different type of the business activities. One of the objective of business is to earn profit on the capital employed. Whatever amount we have employed, on that employed we try to earn profit, and that is the part of business. And we do businesses with the help of physical and financial resources. Any business requires physical resources like plant, machineries, and the financial resources, that is fund, to able to produce and supply goods and the services to their ultimate consumers. Then after, we have some social responsibilities. Each and every business organization have some social responsibilities. They have some obligations towards the society. Just to fulfill that social responsibility, they are engaged in different type of activities. Productivity is calculated by comparing the value of output. Any organization, how much quantities they produce, that is part of that thing. It is used as a measure of efficiency in order to ensure continuous survival and progress. For the continuous survival and progress of the business organizations, they need to continue with the production activities. And innovation, in the business, the very important element, that is of innovation. Basically in the business organization, we increase the utility of any commodity, or they increase the demand of any product with the help of innovation. So innovation, it can be as a part of product, or it can be in the part of skill or in different activities. Okay. And manager performance and development. Business enterprises need managers to conduct and coordinate business activities. In most probably in all the business organization, manager do such a type of activities. Managers performance and development is an important objective of the business organization. The enterprises must actively work for this purpose. So these are the objectives of the business organization for which they used to work. So the main objective of business, that is called earning profit, that is also called economic objective. The main motive of business is to earn money. And second one, physical and financial resources. The second and the very important objective of business, to make the proper utilization of all the resources. And social responsibilities, as we have seen, just because of the business organization, they use natural resources, and natural resources are not the part of companies. On the natural resources, we have equal rights. Companies or the business organization, they use natural resources, it means they are using our resources. So it's their social responsibility to provide proper goods at minimum price, and they have to continue produce, because if any company, any organizations are engaged in production and all activities, then definitely it will increase the economic standard or the economic standard of the business organization. And innovations we have discussed, manager performance we have already discussed. So in the next class, we will discuss about the business risk. So class, again we have to continue with new topic, that is business risk. At the very beginning of the chapter, we have already discussed about the business risk. Okay, because in the business, the volume of risk decide the volume of profit. So what are the different type of business risk that we are going to discuss in this topic? So the term business risk refers to the possibility of inadequate profits or even losses due to uncertainties or unexpected events. In the business organization, maybe different type of activities can be there, and that activities can help us to increase our profit, or it can decrease our profit or increase our losses. So basically in the business organization or the enterprises, we have divided two different type of the risk. Okay, so what are these two different type of risk? So first, and the very important risk, that is called speculative risk. So what is speculative risk? So that risk involve both the possibility of profit, that is gain, as well as possibility of loss. Gain, it means abnormal profit. If we are getting sudden profit, it means it was not assumed that we will get such type of profit. Okay, so there may be the chance of loss. For example, just like last night we have filled our fuel station with diesel or the petrol, whatever is there. Okay, by the midnight the price of fuel has been increased, so definitely we are going to charge higher price. What is the increased value of the fuels? Okay, but we have filled at the lower price, but we are going to charge higher price. So here we are getting abnormal profit, which is called here gain. And suppose if the position is going to inverse, if the price of the petroleum product, whatever we have filled, that is going to decrease, so in that case we have to sell that fuel at the less price, so definitely we have to bear the losses there. So such a type of loss, such a type of risk is called speculative risk. And second one is pure risk. Pure risk involve only the possibility of loss or no loss. Okay, there may be the loss or no loss, but in the pure risk we did not include any kind of gain, any kind of profit. The chance of fire, theft or strike, these are the examples of pure risk. So what are the nature of business risk? So first, uncertainties. Uncertainty which is not fixed, that is called uncertain. Uncertainties refers to the lack of knowledge about what is going to happen in the future, because for the future we can't predict anything. क्योंकि अगर फ्यूचर को प्रेडिक्ट कर लेते तो फिर तो अब तक बहुत कुछ चीज़ें हो चुकी होती हैं. ओके, वी कांट प्रेडिक्ट अबाउट द फ्यूचर, सो दैट्स व्हाई इन द बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एवरीथिंग इज uncertain. So just like natural calamities or the change in the demand and the price, change in the government policy and the improvement in technology, these are not in our hands. If these things are going to change, then definitely we have to bear more and more risk. As we can see in this COVID-19 situation कि बहुत सारे businessmen हैं, they have big proper stock in their showrooms and all, लेकिन just because of this situations they are not able to sold out their products. Okay, and next one, essential part. As we have already discussed, we have already seen, जो risk होता है, that is very important element. If there is no risk, then there is no profit, there is no business. Without risk we can't do any business activities. So risk, that is very essential part of the business. Okay. And next, degree of risk, volume of risk. Degree of risk depend upon the nature of business, which type of business activities we are going, which type of business activities we are doing. Okay, which type of goods we have there, which type of services we are providing. and what is the size of the business organization, and what is the quantity of item in which we used to deal. These things comes under the degree of risk. As if the size of business is big, then definitely risk is more. And next one, profit is the reward of risk. As much risk you will take, as much reward you will get in the return. So these are the nature of business risk. And then after, we have to discuss over the causes of business risk, how these risk arises. So first, basically we used to divide business risk in two parts. First is natural causes and second one is human causes. So what are natural causes? So human beings have little control over the natural calamities. We don't have any control over the natural calamities, but nowadays we have little bit control over the natural calamities like flood, earthquake, lightnings, heavy rains, famine, etc. These are the some natural causes, and in which we are not able to control it. Okay. The next we have human causes. Human causes include such unexpected events like dishonesty, carelessness or negligence of employees, stopping of work due to power failure, a strike. Okay, so these are the examples of human causes. So in the business, risk can be happen just because of the natural causes or because of the human causes. If we are talking about COVID-19, it may be the natural causes or it may be the human causes, because we are not sure that is natural or that is man-made. Okay. Next, so economic causes and other causes. Economic causes, these include uncertainties related to demand of goods, because the demand of goods can be increase at a time or decrease at a time. So that is not fixed, that is not certain. Consumptions, okay, because peoples used to consume different goods or use different services according to their interest, and which we can't fix in the market. Just because of the COVID-19, the demand of ice cream and cold drink this year was very less. So definitely this is a greater risk for those who deals in the ice cream or the cold drinks and all. Okay. And price also matters. Okay, if the price of any commodities are going to decrease, then definitely pupils will ask for that. If the price of commodities are going to increase, then the demand of that product will automatically decreases. So this was the thing. And collection of dues from customers, हम लोग कस्टमर से कितने टाइम में पैसा कलेक्ट करते हैं, how we rotate our money, and how the technology changes. These are the part of the economic causes. And we have other causes, just like unforeseen events like political disturbance, mechanical failures or bursting of boilers. These are the example of other causes. Okay, so if you are thinking just to start a business, so before the starting of business, you need to find out the basic factors. So first, in this chapter we have discussed about the business, about the trade, about the employment and all. Later on, if you decide to start any business organization, so first you have to select line of business. Okay, you have to decide, okay, in which type of business activities you want to involve yourself. You can be the part of industries or the commerce, you can select anything. Okay, then size of the firm. You want to start your business organization with very limited people or the resources, or you want to extend your business. Okay, so that is the very important thing, because if we are going to start our business at very small scale, then there may be lot of restriction regarding the productions. फिजिकल फैसिलिटीज़ कि हमको किस तरीके की फिजिकल फैसिलिटीज़ अवेलेबल हैं. फिजिकल फैसिलिटीज़ इंक्लूड्स मशीन्स, इक्विपमेंट्स, बिल्डिंग्स. ओके, दीज आर द पार्ट ऑफ फिजिकल facilities. And before the starting up of any business, we need to plan for the tax, which is called here tax planning. Okay, tax planning has become necessary now these days, because there are a number of tax laws in the country.